Hey, good morning, third graders, and I hope everyone's doing peachy. All right, so for spelling this week, let's start off with a quick review of what you did last week. So when you look at this card, okay, so when we have this sound E in a word, I-E, E-I, your brain has to decide which combination to use. So we had a little saying that we always say. Can you remember it? Well, if you said I before E except after C, you are correct. Okay, one more time. I before E except after C. Okay, now, do remember that sometimes you're going to hear certain words that have the A sound out of that EI. And so that comes from this combination, like the neighbors at number 8. EIGH gives the A sound. Okay, so let's just look at a couple of words from last week to review. So we have N-I-E-C-E. I before E except after C, and this is, what'd you say? Niece. That's right. Always. In yourself. Believe. Believe in yourself. I before E except after C. All right, so we don't have the C here, so we stick with the I-E. Then we have the word R-E-C. And I have a C. So am I going to do I-E or E-I? E-I-V-E. What's the word? Receive. All right, now let's look at the one where we said we have the A sound. So when it's the A sound, you want E-I-G-H. Who is the person that lives next door to you? That is your neighbor. Okay, so notice the E-I. Okay, and the last one that we will review is something that you get when you pay for something. Excuse me, to show that you paid for it. Okay, we get a, what's it called? Receipt. Okay, so here we have the C, I before E, except after C. So we switch it to the E-I. I know it can get a little confusing. All right, so remember, now that we're older learners, we have to stop and think before we do certain things. Okay? All right, so now let's move on to what we're going to look at this week. And this week, as you already know, you have a lot of words that end in A-B-L-E. And A-B-L-E on its own, many of you right now are going, but that's a word all by itself, and it sure is. Okay, but we're going to put this at the end of a word. All right, so if we put A-B-L-E at the end of a word, first of all, that's a suffix because it's going at the end. Okay, so if something is, look at this cute little guy here, right? He's lovable. So we put A-B-L-E on the end of love. So that means it is able to be loved. Okay, so again, A-B-L-E. So something is able to. Let's think about a couple of words, okay, that what's something you are able to do. Like right now, what are you able to do? You're able to listen to this video. You're able to learn. What are some other things you can think of that you are able to do? Okay, so after you brainstorm for a little while, all right, so now we're going to have A-B-L-E is, again, one of your actual words. Okay, I am able to go to the store with my car. I am able to move my arm up and down, move my head about. Okay, so but now we're going to look at some words that we might attach this suffix to. Now, before I move on, I did want to mention, and you observant students out there may have noticed underneath the A-B-L-E is the alternative way to spell. You sometimes, some words are, I-B-L-E. Okay, and that's what we'll take a look at in our sort. So say the word possible. Is it possible for you to go in your backyard today? Possible. I'm not saying possible, possible, possible. So here you have where you might need the I option. So we have pos. What are you thinking? And then your able, possible. But again, it means the same thing. Able to, okay? Now we have the word Gentle. Now you'll notice that gentle is ending, here we have your LE ending. Okay, it's not something that is in the ABLE category. Okay, when something is gentle, what does that mean? Okay, something, yes, that we want to be careful with, something that might be fragile. If something is fragile, that means it might be something that could be easily broken. Okay, so you need to be gentle with it. All right, our football players do this. They tackle. Tackle. Now we're going to get a look at some words that actually have our prefix, ABLE. Here's another one. I can move my chair, so it's movable. Remember, the ABLE says you are able to do it. Okay, my head and neck are movable. Alrighty, this is the next word that I find a lot of kids at first struggle a little bit when they are spelling this word that ends in LE. And when I know everybody looking at the screen can read it, but sometimes when we want to spell it, we get a little confused. Okay, think about robot talk. Remember the point of robot talk. I know some of you think, oh, I'm not a baby. I don't need to talk like that. Well, you're not going to speak that way. But if in your head, it helps you to remember how to spell a word. P-O-P-L. People. P-O-P-L. People. Okay, but the robot would say what he sees. P-O-P-L. But we say people. Okay, so robot talk may seem silly sometimes, but it really can help. All right, so here's our example that we used with the card. If you are able to give something love, then it is lovable. Like all of you, you are so lovable. Our next word, here we come into the LE ending. What do we give a movie, a book, a story? We give it a title. Title. Okay, so let's think about something you're able to do with your arm. Okay, so your arm is movable, right? And we learned in science this year about what? These guys, right? Flex your, that's right, flex that muscle. Muscle. Now, muscle is an interesting word to spell because there's something in here before the LE that you don't hear. Muscle. So some kids may remember hearing me say in 3M, muscle. All right, again, that's like sort of the robot talk. What do I hear? So it helps with the C. Okay, you are able to move your muscle. All right, so just quick review over the main suffix for this sort. Your ABLE, able. Okay, able to do something. Something is lovable, movable. Okay, the alternate spelling, remember, has an I as in possible. And the next one I'm going to give you to go along with that is flexible. What does it mean if something is flexible? Are you flexible? Can you be flexible in more than one way? Okay, remember, a lot of our words have multi-meaning. So can you be flexible in more than one way? I can be flexible, right? I can bend and touch my toes. Yes, that's right. I can still do that. I'm proud to say. Can I be flexible in how, oh, sure, you need me to do that? I can be flexible and get that done. Okay, so we can be flexible. I can be flexible with my time. I can be flexible with my body. Okay, so again, multi-meaning. So remember, please take some time to go and work with your words. Remember to do some robot talk to help you remember how to spell the words. It's beautiful, I think, most of this week. So get out there, maybe get some chalk, maybe get some things to help spell your words and make sure that you understand their meaning. So try and use them throughout the week with the family around the house, okay? Maybe make some riddles. See who can figure out what word that you are trying to describe. All right, boys and girls, it was great spelling with you. Remember to check out the vocabulary that also goes along with this unit. Keep smiling.